He's one of the dopest engineers in the game. The head engineer exclusively for Prodigy of Mobb Deep. 10 Prodigy of Mobb Deep albums. The Hegelian Dialectic. The Book of Revelation.
It's a pleasure, man. That body of work is crazy. I mean,
Joe the engineer. Now we do this shit, nigga.
333. That's a sign from the heavens. Just look up in the heavens.
I have made a significant find in the Kandarian rune, a volume of ancient Sumerian burial practices and funerary incantation. It is entitled Naturon de Monto, translated Book of the Dead. Sumerian burial practices and funerary incantation. It is entitled Naturon de Monto, translated Book of the Dead. Book of the Dead. Book of the Dead.
No matter what the people say.
Book of the Dead.
I studied and learned for a purpose, my dear.
All right, Lamont, I realize all that. But now the entire underworld has but one objective: to erase the shadow.
all greatness, the majority of greatness in itself doesn't come with goodness. The two don't coexist with one another. And all great men are not good men.
Test your power.
Yeah, test your motherfucking power. Vegas, what up, homie? Yeah, you missed the rain. Andrew, what up? Everybody else, what up? This is Gray Matter. And I imagine that my esteemed co-host will be joining me shortly, or otherwise I'd still be playing music. Yeah, it's raining like crazy here, and it's cold, so... fare thee well, summer. It was fun while it lasted. I'm guessing, though, if I play another song, the Carrie will pop in. I know Roger Harper will be joining us shortly. And, I play golf, man. I don't do the rain. And as far as Nice goes, I don't think Nice will be joining us the rest of this season, it looks like. There he is. There he is. Do-Rag Dynasty, what up?
What's good?
It was Alchemist's birthday yesterday, so, you know.
Word? Well, it's mine in a couple hours.
Ah, good. I didn't know you guys were so close together on the birthday front.
Scorpio season, you know what it is.
Yeah, everybody who's a Scorpio always says it's Scorpio season.
Everybody who's everything says it's that, whatever they see.
No, we don't. Cancers don't do that.
I've seen Cancer season. I've seen it. I mean, it's a little bit more emotional, but I've seen it.
That's that's what I'm saying, man. We don't say Cancer season. That shit is fucked up. Yo, it's Cancer season, y'all. What?
No, that shit is fucked up, though. Like,
nah, people ask me, it'll be like, I'm a plague upon society. I'm a cancer. And they'll be like, oh, damn, shit, that's morbid as fuck.
That is.
Yeah, it is. You know what else is morbid as fuck? That Kansas City defense. Woo! Yo, statistically,
the past couple of seasons though, like
no, this is like historically bad. So,
it's epidemic mode. Yeah.
Out of 6 key metrics in defensive statistics, and when I say key metrics, the only ones that count, like third down conversion rate, you know, things of that nature, turnover margin, you know, things that really matter. They are 31st on one of them and 32nd on 5 of them.
Damn.
Dude, they literally have one of the worst defenses who have ever been on a football field.
That's a dumpster fire.
And now you see with the Cheetah being out for the last couple of weeks, how that changes their offense completely. They have no running game.
None.
And now Patrick is out there. He's trying to do so much, he's going to end up hurting himself. He almost did.
He almost did. What has to happen now, until they can get Flash all the way acclimated, it's going to take him time. He's a physical specimen, no doubt. He's a freak of nature, but you still need snaps. Football is a game you must continue to get snaps in order to stay sharp. And no matter how much physical freak you are, if you're not on the field, you're just not gonna snap back. You know what I mean?
Kerry, if you threw a football at me right now, it would probably hit my hands and I'd drop it. That's the first football that would have been thrown at me in years. My timing's going to be way off.
Look at Michael Jordan. It took him half a season and then going into the next season before things started clicking again. You can't leave a professional sport for that long and expect to just snap right back. What he's going to have to do is something that he doesn't want to do. Kansas City is going to have to become a dink and dunk offense because every other defense in the league is taking away all the deep shots. They're like, nah, it's not going to happen. So they're going to have to employ more patience. And when you come into the league tearing it up by doing it one way and you want to chip this way, it's hard for you to pull it back, especially being as young. People forget, Patrick Mahomes is still young. He's 25 years old, 25, 26. So, yeah. It's just, and again, like you said, they have no running game to lean on. And they spent a lot of money on the offensive line, which is still,
jury's still out on that way, but also teams know how to defend the Chiefs now. Like, nobody can figure it out. So, Andy Reid said post-game that they are seeing things that they've never seen before. And he said, I'm seeing coverage that I have never seen before. Well, yeah, we also have a quarterback that nobody's ever seen before, so they have to adjust to it.
They have to figure you out. Now it's your job to say, hey, Patrick, remember all them deep shots and all those exotic plays? Yeah, we're going to be doing 5-yard curls and 10-yard outs, and that's how we're going to get down the field. That's it.
He better learn how to pull it back a little bit, both in trying to go down the field and whenever you start to scale back your throws and the distance that they cover. He's going to end up with broken fingers on all his receivers. All those 5-yard curls, whack. Ugh.
I'm going to tell you what's going to help him out a whole lot. And I don't know if Andy Reid is going to be willing to do this. They need to get another tight end.
I was just about to say it. They need somebody else.
offense, run a 2 tight end offense. Just go ahead and just say the middle of the field is ours. That's it. So you want to take away all the deep? Okay, watch this. We're going to screen you to death, and we're just going to hit you. We're going to destroy your middle. And eventually, they're going to have to suck in. The defense is going to have to suck in, and then Tyree can get busy down the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're looking terrible. They look really bad. Teams have figured out how to defend them because there's no threat against the run. They understand that Kelsey's going to get 100 yards. It's fine. You're going to beat them if that's all they get is him getting 100 yards. It's fine. He never gets like 180 and 3 touchdowns.
Watch the old Patriots tapes. That's it. Have a strong running game. Even if your running game is you're throwing to your running back 10, 15 times a game, and 2 tight ends, and dink and dunk. Be patient. Wait for your shots. Tom Brady did it his entire career. I think it works. Pretty sure it works.
He always says, "I just give whatever. I don't try to take anything." Only when we had Randy Moss did he take things, and that's just like, well, I'm going to take that entire back third of the field because you can't cover him.
Also, Randy Moss was faster than everything. He was also 6'4" and could jump out the stadium.
And
so,
still is underrated. His football IQ was completely off of the charts.
Mm-hmm.
So
what you worry about Cheetah? His hands are still suspect, and Randy Moss had immaculate hands.
Yeah.
So,
and
yeah, man.
It's also, Randy Moss, his football IQ will allow him to understand which routes to run when. Cheetah's just, I'm faster than you. I'm just going to outrun you.
That's what he does. Yep. He's just running. He's just running all over the place like this. He's working harder, not smarter, because he's just faster. But if he used his speed combined with football intelligence, he would truly be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Unstoppable.
I mean, they relied on the improvised play too much, if you ask me. So O-line breaks down, Patrick runs around a little bit. You cannot cover Cheetah for that long. It's impossible. He's too quick and fast. And then Kelsey would find a spot. Well, now Patrick Mahomes is taking shots.
Yep. Big ones.
Teams have figured out, you know what, if he's going to roll out like that, he's going to hit him anyway. See if he can take it. So the physicality of the NFL is caught up to him, Kerry, and this happens to everybody. This is how the Bill Belichick and the Giants beat the Bills and the K-Gun offense. This is how Bill Belichick and the Patriots beat the Rams in the greatest show on turf. We are just going to physically beat you up and see if you can take it. And right now, Patrick Mahomes is just like, man, I ain't never played football like this before. It wasn't like this in the Big 12.
We also seen that Patrick, when he gets frustrated, he will throw it to the other team. And he did that at a lot of Texas Tech. There would be games he would have 3-4 interceptions. I mean, he threw a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns, but he also threw a lot of picks too. And when he got frustrated. So, yeah, man. I mean,
some luster has been removed from the golden child. People have seen like, oh, wait a minute. Now teams are game planning for him because they know. They know what they can do. All right, they know what they can do. You have to cover Cheetah with 2 people, and you have to beat up Kelsey because Kelsey doesn't like to play physical football.
Yeah, because he'll start dropping it.
He never did, and he always said, I have to improve on my blocking, I have to improve on my blocking, I have to improve on my blocking because he was a pass-catching tight end. He never was physical. He's not like Gronk. Gronk will physically destroy you.
Right.
And you see it. Kelsey's taking shots, and you saw it in the Super Bowl. He's sitting there with his head down after dropping another one and another one. He doesn't like to get hit, so teams have figured out, I'm just going to hit him. We're going to double and triple team this guy, and then who else do you got? Are you going to beat us with Byron Pringle? No, you're not.
And I don't even know why they have McCole Hardman. All that speed is just wasted.
I thought when Cheetah was going to be off for a couple weeks that Hardman would just step in and be like, all right, I'm going to be that guy now. And they're not using him like that. They don't even use him on special teams either.
I'm telling you exactly what I would do. I would have Gordon giving me 10 yard outs, 10-yard comebacks all game, right? Establish that. I would have McCole Hardman press the middle. I would have Kelsey press the middle on his side. I would use Cheetah in the backfield, all sorts of motions, flare screens, all that. There's still ways to do it. You just got to think smaller now.
I would watch WVU's offense when Tavon Austin was there.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, if they don't get another tight end next year that they could pair with Kelsey, then we're going to see the struggle years from Mahomes.
Yeah, no, it's coming because I know this is an offensive league, but defense still wins championships, and it always will.
And also, when you don't think other teams heard when Mahomes said, oh, yeah, I didn't even know how to read defenses, but now I do. So, yeah, now it's cool. You don't think someone who was a defensive coordinator, who that's how they make their job in their career, didn't hear that shit and say, oh, word? You think it's that easy? Watch this. We're going to smash that ass.
And you saw what happened in the Super Bowl.
He's been getting his ass smashed ever since, Pause. Yeah.
So what happened was, it's kind of like Roy Jones Jr.
Sure.
Everyone was terrified of him and fought back until somebody said, fuck this shit, I'm going to punch him in his mouth and see what happens. And then everyone just started knocking him out.
Antonio Tarver.
Everyone.
Kelly was the white kid. Kelly.
Yeah. Everyone started knocking him out, right? So same thing happened with Mahomes. Everyone was playing on their heels, so scared of the arm talent, so scared of the offensive skill set around him. And Andy Reid's play. What else can he create with this? With these colors? What else can he paint with all these colors? And then the Bucs were just like, and they learned it in that second half of the regular season loss because they were down 20-something and outscored them in the second half 24-0. And they were just like, we can beat this team. And you saw it in the Super Bowl. It was just like the Giants and the Patriots, same thing.
You saw the chinks in the armor when the Chargers should have beat them last year.
Yeah.
You saw it. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Listen, Andy Reid already has the formula to fix this. He coached check down Alex for years. You already have those plays. You just don't want to use them. You don't want to go back to it. But guess what? Check down Alex made the playoffs every year. Every year.
Yeah.
And with also with a way better defense. Because we're talking about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so we'll get back to the Chiefs. I just had to. They looked terrible. They looked really bad.
Man, you know how I felt talking about their defense. I was like, it doesn't matter how great that offense is. When you only have Honey Badger on defense, that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, you have one safety, and that's it.
That's it.
Everyone else is playing like trash this year. So, news around the league. Hilarious. Teams, reporters asked Mike Tomlin if he was interested in the USC job. Yeah, never. Never say never, but I'm saying never. That guy's never leaving Pittsburgh.
You would never in your life ask a Super Bowl winning coach if they're gonna go coach a college team. Imagine somebody asking the hoodie that shit. They would never be allowed in the facility ever again.
Think about this. Tomlin becomes the youngest head coach in football at like 36 or something. Out of left field, nobody saw him getting hired as a head coach, right? Mm-hmm. Instant fit. He just fits so well with Pittsburgh. It's so perfect. For some reason, I still, to this day, cannot fathom why some Pittsburgh fans hate this guy. He won you 2 Super Bowls in the Brady and Belichick era.
Well, I have some ideas, but
I will say that the Pittsburgh fans that I talk to all talk about how he can't win enough Super Bowls, and they've always been like, "Oh, he can't beat the Patriots." I'm just like, "Well, nobody beats the Patriots, you idiots!" Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Cowher only got one. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but now at this point, when people realize he's never had a losing season in his entire career, which is. He's the only coach who's ever done that, and he's been there forever.
That's no football. You're going to have down years because of turnover of players and all that. Even when He had a third-string quarterback, and his defense was decimated with injuries. Still managed to get to 500.
Yeah, excellent
and
coach.
Almost made the playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean,
excellent coach. Hilarious that they would ask him that. That's like
out of here.
That is like literally the second to last coach who would go to college. He never had to coach in college.
Never.
He never had to. Why would I go back?
That's so disrespectful. I mean, so disrespectful.
So Thursday night's game has now become infinitely less interesting. Devontae Adams, Roni List. Adam Lazard, Roni List.
Wow. Now we maybe if y'all out there, pick up Amari Rodgers. He might get some burn now. Amari Rodgers might be a good sneaky pickup right now.
I imagine Tanyan and what's the other receiver? Yeah, Scantling. And then Amari Rodgers, and I think there's another guy that's got some snaps this season.
Well, I mean, he got his boy back.
Randall Cobb's going to be huge tomorrow.
Cobb.
But that Arizona is too good. So it was going to be tough for Green Bay to beat Arizona fully healthy. So now you removed Devontae, and it was just like, uh-oh. That's the first thing I was like, uh-oh. And then now they said Lazard's gone too. I'm like, oh, no, they're definitely going to lose. And they can't even be mad. They're not at full strength. Your best player, and I know Aaron Rodgers is playing quarterback, but your best player is out because he's the best at his position in football.
No doubt.
And that's hard to and Kerry, I don't think anybody argues that. And that's DeAndre Hopkins still plays football, and nobody argues this.
DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, I just had this conversation the other day. DeAndre Hopkins, beyond a shadow of a doubt, has the best hands in football. That's not even an argument. The man has dropped 3 passes in the last 3 seasons. I mean, there's not even an argument. Best hands in football.
Contested catches galore.
Yeah, I was about to say contested catches too. Come on.
But Devontae Adams is different.
He is. He's a game breaker for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. You know he's going to get the rock, and there's absolutely nothing you can do.
Well, also, once he gets the ball in his hands, he is very dynamic. Nuke isn't like crazy after the catch. He makes ridiculous catches. Sideline catches, in traffic, touchdowns that don't make no sense.
He's more so where the ball, where he catches it, that's the big play. Whereas when Devontae gets the ball in his hands, then the big play happens.
Dude, he's so incredible. He's one of the best wide receivers I have ever seen play football as a total.
Which is so funny because, remember, when we talked about it, when he first came into the league, he struggled.
Yeah.
But another great receiver also struggled when he first got to the league by the name of Jerry Rice.
Yes.
So you can turn it around, kiddies, if you focus on your craft and you show up every day.
He's literally like, this is like prototype. It's like everything that you would want in a wide receiver. He checks every single box.
Absolutely.
Incredible. And the synergy he has with Aaron Rodgers is like, it's so cool to watch a wide receiver and a quarterback that are on the same page like that. You see it already with Chase and Burrow.
Oh my God. Yeah. You're starting to see it with our boy and Mike Williams.
Yeah. Herbert and Williams. You saw it with any quarterback in a Minnesota jersey and Randy Moss. Just
absolutely.
Yeah, right. I watched the documentary again where
quarterback Randy Moss.
I watched the documentary again the other day where they talked about in the early Minnesota years they literally had one play for Randy Moss, only one, and they said it. Randy, go get it. Was the play? It just go run and somebody will throw it to you, and it worked. It was unstoppable.
And nobody was doing this shit before he was doing it. Looking up at the Jumbotron to see where the rock was in relation to where he was at. And he's just like, come on, throw it. Oh, I'm open. Throw it. Just put his hand in the air. He would get even and throw his hand up because he knew he was leaving. I'm even, I'm leaving, baby, all day.
I mean, the most famous destruction is that Patriots play against Revis when Revis was at his peak. Shook him and instantly threw his hand up and then caught it one-handed.
ridiculous.
One-handed it and didn't even bring his other hand up. Bink.
Nope. Yep.
And when I say Revis was at his peak, this was when Revis was playing the cornerback position better than any human had ever played it. No one had ever reached that level because no one was as physical as him against the run, while also running every single receiver's routes before they ran them.
And he was in mercenary mode, because then he was just going to teams and it's like, you got a chance to go to the playoff Super Bowl? All right, let's do it. I'm your missing piece. Let's go.
Hoodie, you need me for a Super Bowl run 1 year, whatever. I'll do this. 20 million. Yeah, I'll take this Super Bowl.
Let's do it.
I'm leaving immediately afterwards. Hoodie's like, I don't care. We need you. We're missing you.
Then Talib was like, well, shit, I could do that too. But I love it. Talib, man. I love that dude.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Great. How the hell he ended up at Kansas blows my mind.
No, it was disciplinary. And grades, you already know.
I had to have been.
I tell you what, though, Green Bay, if you are looking for a big physical receiver who still has speed and has a history of making plays, T.O. is still available.
He's already in the Hall of Fame, but he would come play.
Let me tell you something. For a 45, 46-year-old man, that dude is in phenomenal shape and can still run.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, he's looking at Tom Brady like, Tom can do it. I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually in shape.
He's probably wondering why Tampa Bay didn't give him a call.
They already got one of you. His name's Antonio Brown. Well, they don't need another one. So Tom Brady throws number 600. Retarded numbers.
601 and then 602.
All to Mike Evans.
Oh, yeah, we knew, but like we said, it was going to be a Mike Evans.
Yeah, I know. I got to bench him next week because he's going to do shit this week coming up, and I already know it.
I also knew Godwin. Since AB was out, I was like, oh, Godwin's going to get some touches.
So anyway,
he had 2 touchdowns that game, easily.
The story about it is, and I don't know if you probably didn't watch it, Mike Evans catches number 600. This is how dope Tom Brady is. No one even told anybody that was number 600. It wasn't even a big deal. He doesn't even give a fuck. Mike Evans takes the ball, throws it into the stands.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Arians comes over and says, yo, that was number 600. The look on, they have it. They filmed it too. It was perfect. The look on Mike Evans' face. He was like, oh, I threw it in the stands. So, negotiation begins from said fan and guy. Now, sports memorabilia houses had valued the ball at no less than $500,000.
Okay.
They were able to negotiate with guy on the spot, and he gives ball. Listen, man. There is no bigger Tom Brady fan than me.
But you negotiate. We gonna go to the table.
I'll tell you what, homie. Have Tom come talk to me in the tunnel after the game, and we'll figure this out.
Yep.
One-on-one. I don't need nobody else around. Me and him will figure this out. That's it.
Oh, that would have been the best way to do that. Yep.
Plus, you get to meet Tom and all that shit. Like, you know. So anyway, the whole sports world's like, you cannot give that ball back. That's like, make him buy it off of you. So this is what they gave him in return. They gave him another ball, of course, probably signed. A couple signed jerseys. So one from Tom. He had a Mike Evans jersey on already, so Mike's like, shit, my bad, Tom. I got you into this shit. My bad. Probably Gronk. I would get a Gronk one. That's a Hall of Famer. I'm getting that one. Shit like that. $1,000 gift card for the team store, which would get you 2 jerseys. They are about $500 each for the real ones. Season tickets.
Okay.
And Tom Brady gave him a Bitcoin.
That I did hear about. He gave him a Bitcoin.
Yeah, Tom Brady's, he's got his own, he's like part owner of like a crypto exchange.
Wow.
So he does, it's hilarious because, back in the day.
A couple billionaires. Well, he knows quite a few, but yeah, he has a lot of people in different industries that have a lot of money.
Yeah, and then it was funny because they were just like, hey, then he could turn that negotiation video into an NFT if he wants. I'll sell it on my exchange. Like, he was pushing his own exchange during the whole way. It was hilarious. Hilarious.
Is this when they would the Eli and Peyton? Man, I missed that. Damn.
All right, so
I know there was one part where he was like, man, I preferred playing against Peyton. And Eli was like, oh, that was a great game. Eli had fun.
Okay, so this is what I was just about to talk about. All right, so now I like Eli now that he doesn't wear a football helmet, and you can tell he's the funny brother because he wasn't Peyton, so humor was his way to like be like, yeah, whatever, fuck Peyton.
Yeah.
Yo, he's hilarious.
Hilarious, yo.
He
is.
So I don't know how anyone can watch the Monday night feed with, Tarico or whoever is doing Monday. I don't even know who's doing Monday night anymore. With these guys, all they have to do is fix the audio because they're always talking over top of each other.
Yeah. Oh no, when Eli and Peyton do it, I'm watching the Eli Peyton. Like I'm not worried about the other broadcasts. I'm not worried about it. It's Brian Greasy, Louis Riddick, who I do like. I do like Louis Riddick, and ESPN Sports.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares? Peyton and Eli are way funnier. Tom and Peyton are friends, so they're really funny now. Peyton had to wear a Ole Miss jersey. He was wearing Eli's Ole Miss jersey. I guess he lost a bet.
Oh yeah, because Ole Miss won.
Yeah, and it was like super tight. And Tom kept telling him like, "Oh man, it's really, you got to go watch the highlight of it," because Eli kept telling Tom like, "I know you got to go. It's past your bedtime."
Yo, Eli is that dude, man. Like I think now fans can understand why his teammates rocked with him so hard. I know, like, the press would be like the I don't know quarterback and all that, but I'm like, this dude is a baller. And in the fourth quarter, teams don't want to see him in the fourth. Like, the Giants are down. That's when he's most dangerous, and he's in shotgun, making shit happen.
That's what Tom said. He said, "There's something about you, man. When you saw those silver helmets, I don't know what happened. You just." And that's when he was just like, "Yeah, Tom, I liked all of our games." I don't know.
Like, I don't understand. He's funny, man.
Funny dude. So this is what the NFL has tried to avoid forever: is their players allowed to be humanized.
Yeah.
Because then you get attached to them. I think Pat McAfee having Aaron Rodgers on every Tuesday changed it for football players.
Yeah, because it was all about the team. So when you set it up like that, when you structure it like that, team first, and then the team comes to you and say, "Hey, how about giving us that hometown discount?" And then if you don't do it, then you look like, then they try to paint you not a team first person, an individual in a team sport. Well, a team sport is only a team sport made up by a collection of individuals who have to also look out for themselves. So, yeah, they don't want you to be individual, because once you do that, now people rock with you. You can make your money independently now, because remember, football players weren't getting endorsements like basketball players, even baseball players. They weren't doing it
because they were dehumanized.
All about that decal. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was all about that team decal, and especially the shield.
Yeah, you would always have like the official candy bar of the Arizona Cardinals. Team sponsorship deals.
Right, exactly. Now we're looking at individuals. Also, we got to think about this. Peyton Manning stepping out doing Saturday Night Live, killing it on Saturday Night Live.
Hilarious.
Like, oh, this guy is funny. Then getting all those commercials himself. They're like, wait a minute. This is kind of dope. I mean, we saw certain instances of it back in the day. Mean Joe Green with the Coca-Cola commercial, "Hey kid, catch," throwing the jersey.
Yeah, but you never saw anyone's personality.
Right. It was like just tiny little snippets here, there. Not, you know what I mean?
They'd always just be them pushing some product wearing their jersey. Bad acting.
The Chicago Bears doing a rap video, which was hilariously terrible. The Super Bowl Shuffle. If you haven't seen it, YouTube, Chicago Bears, Super Bowl Shuffle. It is horrific.
Well, Peyton really opened it up for individuals. And then, recently with Tom, especially now with what he did last year, and now he has literally reached the pantheon of greatest athletes of all time, and he's still playing. So now he's like the biggest athlete, at least in our country, easily. So now, and also he's away from Belichick, so now he can go do commercials where he's doing all types of hilarious shit, because he's funny, but in that like frat boy,
for real,
all shucks, dad joke funny.
Real. Throwing the trophy from boat to boat, that's some frat boy shit. Are you kidding me? Hell yeah. Avocado tequila drink of that.
Everyone will tell you he is legendary. You cannot out-chug him. He can do the Fox thing.
You never know that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. Yeah.
So I don't think there's any more. Pat Chung got charged with assault. I didn't even read the article on what the hell he did.
Oh, that. Yeah.
I'm just thinking, why aren't you still playing, you idiot? Everybody Pat Chung tonight.
That's why you really want him to keep playing.
Yes, because I'm the only one who ever used that nickname, and I never knew why Chris Berman didn't adopt that one. That's right up his alley.
Yeah.
All right, so scoreboard from this week. I literally had the Browns, and then 2 minutes before kickoff switched.
Ooh. See, you know what? I didn't put enough faith in my boy Case Keenum.
It wasn't about Case Keenum. I thought that
the offensive line, really.
The Browns JV squad is better than the Broncos varsity squad. Mm-hmm. And I knew that. I knew that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teddy Two Gloves just doesn't do it for me, man. He just doesn't do anything on the field that excites me in any way whatsoever.
You know what? He's a really nice guy, and people like him.
He's a great backup quarterback. It is what he should do.
He's a phenomenal backup. And he has been. He was a phenomenal backup with the Saints.
Exactly. He can't come in and win you games. He won't lose them, that's for sure. Everyone likes him.
Everyone likes him.
Yeah.
Listen, fathers will let their daughters be around him freely.
He said freely.
He's just going to have some great conversation with him.
Probably talk about Jesus, if you really get down to it. He will have 2 gloves on.
He will have 2 gloves on.
He will use protection with your daughters.
When he first got his check, he bought his mom a pink SUV. I mean, come on now.
There are some quarterbacks that, though they are competent, they're just not starting quarterback. He's just one of those. He's just not a starting caliber quarterback. You're not winning a Super Bowl with Teddy Bridgewater unless you have, an all-time great defense and a running game to complement it.
I would say that he is a starter, but he's a starter who needs a lot of accompaniment. He needs a top 5 defense. He needs a super strong run game. He needs a dominant tight end. You know what I'm saying? Noah Fant is good, and he's emerging, but he's not a dominant tight end yet. He does have some really great receivers, but they just have to be healthy. They haven't collectively.
He's a starting quarterback on a bad team. That's all he's ever been. Has never been a starting quarterback on a good team.
If he had a dominant defense and a really strong running game, he's not going to lose the game. Listen, when a Trent Dilfer can win a Super Bowl.
That's what I said. He has to have an all-time great defense.
I'm saying he has to have a top 5 defense, a super strong running game, a dominant tight end, and a receiver who can make a play on 3rd down.
All right, so let me ask you something. Remove Tom Brady from that Bucs team last year and put in Teddy B. Do they still make a Super Bowl run? No. They'll make a playoff run, but Tom Brady is making big plays in big moments.
Tom Brady literally implemented his own offense that he ran for the previous 18 years. No quarterback could do it. You know what I mean?
Only Peyton can do that. And look, he won a Super Bowl in Denver doing that too.
I mean, you could have some quarterbacks who are talented. Like if you put Aaron Rodgers on that team, yeah. But we're also talking about like top tier quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford, perhaps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, no question.
Pat Mahomes, yeah. Herbert, all these, because the team is stacked on both sides. But Teddy Ballgame just doesn't do it. If you're looking,
it would be a nail biter for sure.
See, you know what the bad thing about him is? Well, not even him. It's his career arc. He's always been a starting quarterback on a team that needed more out of a starting quarterback in order to take the next step forward as an organization. And you're not getting that out of him. He's not going to hurt your organization, but he's not going to pull it into the next level.
The funny thing about him too is that when he went to Louisville, he definitely elevated the program, most definitely. But I mean, they were going to vie for a national chip. You know what I mean?
Lamar Jackson gets there though.
But did he elevate the program?
Yes.
Absolutely. Did he help other recruits go there? You're damn right. And was the program better for it after he left? Fuck yeah.
100%. Like I said, he's not going to hurt your team. He doesn't hurt your team. He doesn't hurt the locker room. You know, he doesn't hurt the team on the field. He just doesn't help it, really.
It would have been really interesting to see what would have happened if he didn't have that most devastating injury where he did take that Minnesota Vikings team.
He was playing well.
Right. And then he and AP just never really had enough time together. And that defense was a playmaking defense.
Yeah. He had all the things he needed. It just couldn't stay healthy.
Couldn't stay almost lost his entire career, and it was during practice.
Yeah.
So that was his shit. So his whole career shifted after that. But just him being back on the field, being able to play, is nothing short of a miracle. So I mean, I'm always gonna root for that dude, you know, and hope for the best. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So Patriots, 54. Oh boy.
I was like, come on, man,
Bill was doing that shit on purpose. He hates the Jets.
Come on, man. Yeah, he does. That's real.
He really does. He really hates them. He has put up over 50 on the Jets numerous times.
And see, in one of my leagues, I'm just in 2 leagues now. It's the most responsible fantasy year I've had yet. There have been years I've been in 7, which is ridiculous. I'm just playing against myself all the time. So I'm just in 2 this year. It's great. And I was going against Mac Jones. And I knew he was going against the Jets. I never wanted the Patriots to run the ball more. I mean, Damian Harris had a hell of a game. Thank goodness I wasn't him. And the guy I was going against did have Mac Jones starting. And I had Jacoby Meyer. And I pulled him. I pulled Jacoby Meyer. And instead, in my flex, I put in Kyle Pitts. Hardest thing.
Yeah, Pitts dominated.
It was National Tight End Day. Kyle Pitts had the best day of all tight ends.
Yeah, easy. So there's really nothing to talk about. This was 2 teams that just. I did like Saleh's press conference afterwards. He was just like, "Listen, man, sometimes this shit happens." Excuse my language. He kept saying that because he kept cursing.
I love it.
And he was just like, "Yo, sometimes you just fucking get me. Fuck. Excuse my language. You just get your ass beat." And it happens. Sometimes it was ugly. Well, Zach Wilson's now hurt for a few weeks, so now Mike White is starting.
Mike White, yeah, he threw a couple picks and all that. You also have to understand this guy hasn't been getting a lot of snaps. But he came in, and then there was energy behind the ball.
Yeah.
It was energy. Corey Davis ended up salvaging a day, thank goodness. Yeah, if they could figure out a running game, Ty Johnson scored. If they could just figure something out, I feel like with Mike White, we might be able to see what it could look like. But The offensive line is just not.
Micah Becton being out for the year just destroyed any hopes they had.
Oh, it's legit. He's done for the year.
Why would you come back to this dumpster fire?
This is also true. I mean, but if you could get snaps, and he's a young player. If he was a vet, if he was like an 8 to 10 year vet, I'd be like, yeah, nah.
They look like the second worst team in football right now. We'll get to the worst team in football in a second. Patriots, that game was so ugly that I had to mute it. I'm like, I can't even listen to this. I have to pay attention to a different game. This is so bad.
But the game got more interesting when Mike White got in there. I will say that.
100%. Packers over Washington, another easy pick. Washington just can't keep up talent-wise with better teams.
And like my cousin said, he likes Heineke, a.k.a. Heineken, although Bud Light, though. Dumbass Heineken. That's so stupid. What a layup. Blew it. He said he's just not – he's a backup. He was a backup all these years for a reason. And it's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, Cam Newton is still out there. Hello.
Seattle should probably give Cam a call.
Huh?
Seattle should give Cam a call.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
They should. But I don't know if he would pick up. But Cam picking up for Washington, I could see that. Him and Ron Rivera went to a Super Bowl together. I don't even know if that call has been made yet, or.
Yeah, I just because it's not like they're not talented. I don't know what the offensive line situation is really like. Seals Jones has stepped up well for Logan Thomas, who's out. So now they know they have two tight ends.
They do. And finally coming into his own, because remember he was drafted by Tampa Bay years ago, and he was looking like he was going to be a good prospect. But the league is tough. The league is just tough. It doesn't matter how good you are. The league is tough, and you have to figure it out.
So they got McLaurin and Sims.
McLaurin is the beast.
A beast.
He's probably the most underrated wide receiver in the league.
Yeah, it's because of where he plays at. And Gibson at running back. So it's just what else on it. I mean, they held the Packers to 24. It's not like the Packers put up 40 on them. It's just I don't think they can keep up with good teams. And it looks like it comes down to the quarterback.
The quarterback, also some safety play, because Landon Collins is not a cover.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know outside of their front or their defense, because we know what their front is. Montez Sweat and the Predator.
Yeah,
Chase. So I don't know what the rest of their defense is like, but they're just not. Especially,
they got Allen and Jonathan Allen in the middle.
Especially with Dallas being healthy, they're.
Yeah. Well, I told you from the outset Dallas was going to win that division.
Yeah, I know. Good for you.
Thank you. I hated it.
Yeah, I know. Maybe that's why I enjoy being wrong so much on this one, because you were right and it hurts so wrong. It hurts so bad to be right, and it's the case for you.
Talking about hurt so bad being right or wrong, I felt bad every time I pick against my squad and they win. I feel bad that I picked against them, but I pick against them for a reason. But I also celebrate the victory. It's not like I'm like, I want to be right, so y'all need to lose.
All right, so let's just talk about this game now. This is another one I switched. I had the G-Men on this one, and you know why? Sam Darnold had to come back and play in New York.
Sam Darnold doesn't beat the G's.
Yeah.
He doesn't beat them, especially in New York.
He had to come back to that's a haunted house for him, and I knew that shit.
And I knew that, and I didn't go on that. I didn't go on that.
So the Panthers might be the worst team in football right now.
And you know what?
Kerry, they've scored 3 points in.
Their defense is good, but yeah, they have no offensive identity without Christian McCaffrey.
As soon as he got hurt, they started sucking. Now, they're all in on still trying to get Deshaun Watson, which shows you how much confidence they really have in Sam Darnold. Because remember, all they did is just pick up his 5th-year option.
Yeah.
They'd have to re-sign him after this, and they're not obligated to. They're just paying him a lot of money this year.
Yeah.
And it's a gamble that's looking like it looked good for the first couple weeks. But then when the burden was on his shoulders again instead of McCaffrey's, they have receivers. Their defense is good. It's just, boy, he sucks. He sucks at football.
You know what? Sam Darnold needs to be a backup for a few years. I'm not going to give up on his ability to start, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'll use because I can use the Rich Gannon example in a few different ways. Rich Gannon was in the league for a number of years. The majority of the years Rich Gannon was in the league, he was a backup, and he had some tough years.
All right, so let me ask you something before it flees.
In the last 5-6 years, he was an all-pro quarterback. He was in the right system. He had the right players and all that shit. But he was able to stay in the league all that time to figure it out.
All right, so let me ask you which RG quarterback he is more akin to, Rich Gannon or Rex Grossman?
Rex Grossman.
Exactly. So this is what I'm saying. He's not a starter, and he won't be. We've seen this was his shot, and he looks bad. He looks bad.
Flip side, like Colin Kaepernick, who they were trying to excoriate and try to say like he just sucked, and that's why he's not getting played. Get the fuck out of here. He took a team to the Super Bowl and then right back to the NFC Championship game. I'm like, okay, so if you really thought he sucked, let's look at Rich Gannon, who sucked for 12 years, and then in his last 5-6 years he was an All-Pro.
Yo, Kerry, this game, which I know you know, was 5-3 with a minute left in the third quarter.
It was baseball. It was a fucking baseball game. I was disgusted.
Oh, so bad.
We were winning, and I was disgusted. And everybody's making such a big damn deal over Danny Dum-Dum's one-handed catch. First of all, a wide receiver threw a terrible pass, and yes, was he athletic enough to accelerate and jump up and catch one hand when no one was around him, and he bobbled it, and he had enough time to bobble it and then gather it before he got hit? It was like playing catch in the backyard, right? And then you bobbled it a couple of times, and then the dog came to tackle you. I mean, it wasn't. They're making such a big damn deal. That wasn't a.
All right, so another thing that happened in this game that seems to be a trend. There's been a lot this year. There's a safety. A lot of safeties this year.
Yeah.
There's been that's odd. A lot of safeties. A lot of people going forward on fourth down in the most ridiculous scenarios in places.
It's been a lot of safeties, and we have seen some baseball scores. There's also been a lot of last-minute field goals to decide the game.
Yeah.
And overtime games. I've never seen this many games be decided by field goal in the last minutes or just go to overtime and then it's like a field goal off.
So since Pat McAfee, former punter for the brand, kicker, punter, snapper, holder, he's all about it. He's always talks about every pundit who says that kickers aren't football players, which I think is stupid. You see, the game starts with them. It starts with them. They have to kick off, and then this year more than ever, it's ending with them. So, if a kicker is not a football player, then
the outcome.
Then a designated hitter is not a baseball player. Then.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, we gotta stop that.
A goalie's not a hockey player.
Right.
He's just, come on. It's just it's completely different. So,
the ability to affect the outcome of a game.
All of the all-time leading scorers in NFL history are all kickers.
I'm saying kickers. Jan Stenerud, y'all. Check this out.
So, next game on the slate. Boy, this one was ugly, but we all picked it because we all know what's going on, but I didn't know it was going to be this ugly. Now, one thing that really pissed me off about this, Derrick Henry, A, only 86 yards, B, doesn't get a rushing touchdown, gets a throwing touchdown, and Ryan Tannehill gets a rushing touchdown. This is how badly they were beating on the Chiefs that they could reverse roles.
And Ryan Tannehill could have actually threw that touch. He could have threw it because it was a guy wide open, but he was like, mine. I'm rushing this one in.
So this is the Titans team that
It was so bad. Hold on. It was so bad. Derrick Henry threw the jump pass to a tight end who had three guys slanting his way. He had another guy on the opposite end wide ass open. He had actually two guys, one in the end zone and one just outside of the end zone, butt naked open.
Three, because Tannehill had rolled to the flats and was standing there by himself too.
I'm like, damn. The point is, the three that went with him, it wasn't like he threw into triple coverage. They just went that way, but he was wide open too. Stupid.
So this is the Tennessee team that we thought we would see early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Physical.
Mm-hmm. And another important fact is, guess who had targets and catches in this game?
This is what I said.
Brown.
Yeah.
And ever since they recognized, oh shit, we got AJ too.
They did. They found it out in the second half of last week when they beat the Bills, and then they just physically.
Here we go.
And Julio was healthy, and he had a running back like catch and run that even I was just like, damn, dude, he ran over like three separate people.
So that's how it needs to be. AJ Brown is the number one. They have to have a talk like the Miami Heat had to have a talk when LeBron and Wade and Bosh hooked up. The first year they go to a chip, but they were like, who's going to take the last shot? When they figured it out the next year, they ripped through the league.
Well, also,
AJ is the number one. Julio is the 1B.
Also, they've also allowed Pruitt to become the one tight end and Fersker just to be the second tight end, which is what he's better at anyway. So now they're starting to figure things out.
Yeah, Fersker ain't that dude.
Yeah, they're starting to put the pieces into the correct places. And, you know, when you hold the Chiefs to 3 points and Patrick Mahomes without a passing touchdown for the first time in his regular season career, defense played well.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
This is his fourth year?
Fourth.
That is insane. You understand that? This is the first time he was. Oh my God. That's so stupid. I don't think people will fully appreciate that until
you don't. You don't you never appreciate somebody's accomplishments until you get to look back at it as a total. Like, it's hard to, even with what Tom Brady's doing right now, people are not going to actually grasp the scope of it until Patrick Mahomes ends up with one or two only. And then the next greatest quarterback of all time only ends up with one or two. And everyone sees, like, how the fuck that guy ended up with, like, 9. What? Or you get another Dan Marino scenario where you get a
Mahomes and Rodgers, and you're like, hey, man.
You know, Justin Herbert goes and doesn't even go to a Super Bowl, something crazy like that.
But then you'll have a guy like Ben Roethlisberger who has 2.
Who has 2 and has been to another one. He's lost 2, hasn't he?
Well, he lost to the Packers, beat Arizona, beat Seattle. So 3.
Yeah. Shout out Mike Tomlin on that. All right, another game that was easy to pick but got competitive at the end. I thought it was easy because the Dolphins suck. They are terrible at football, so much so that it was easy to pick the Falcons over top of them. But Kyle Pitts has gained the trust of Matt Ryan, and we all know what that means. You're getting the ball, buddy. Here you go.
True. The thing, but see, the thing is, and I actually went against it. I did roll with Miami because it's hard to trust fucking Atlanta. Also, Miami was at home, and also this one was a Brian Flores one for me. I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this one on Brian Flores. I think they'll come through, and they did, and they had the lead, but then the defense just couldn't. But this is also what we said. Matthew Ice Cream has a propensity for beating bad quarterbacks. And as Tua has been showing us, he's just not – he ain't there yet.
This is another team that's in on the Watson bonanza.
Yep.
Which tells you the state of their confidence in Tua.
Exactly. And Matthew Ice Cream can beat bad quarterbacks.
Always does.
Or mediocre, even. Yeah.
Always does. Always will. Because he's just above mediocre.
Just above it. Just above it.
And he takes advantage of his weapons. I will give him that. If he's got one, you're getting the ball, man. You're getting the ball. You're better than them here. You take it.
And I think that's why his run in Atlanta has been so unchallenged, because he does get the rock to the playmakers. He does. But again, he's not that cat who's going to take you over the top.
Nope.
If another quarterback is up 24-3 in the Super Bowl,
28.
Do you? Huh?
28-3.
28-3. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, 28-3. You think as these plays are coming in, they're gonna be like, "Oh no, this is a great play." They were like, "Nah, let's do something. Let's take this time off. Like, we got this. Like, we don't want to give that guy more opportunities."
And the running game was working all game.
I would be like, "Yo, what is this play? Nah." Like, no, stop. I don't need to throw anymore. What are we doing? We got Devontae Freeman, who was having a hell of a game. Like, we can run on these guys. Let's run. What are we doing? No, I'm not going to throw that. No. Or they would have just changed the play. Like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm doing this. I'm changing this. Devontae, this is you.
Yeah, you can yell at me as we're dumping champagne on top of each other.
Exactly. But Matthew Ice Cream, as we all have seen, will melt under pressure. And I'll tell you what, if Tony Gonzalez is on that team, he would be like, what are we doing? Do you see the score? What are we doing? There wasn't a guy on that team, on that offense, who said to Kyle Shanahan, to Dan Quinn, hey, why are we not running the rock more? Do you see what Devontae is doing? None of them stepped up. They were like, oh, another pass play? All right, well, I'll be able to make the play.
Yeah, throw it to me.
Throw it to me. I'll do it. Yeah.
That's the ego's and vanity of wide receivers, though.
They lost that shit due to ego.
So another game, we all missed this one. I think we did. I know I did. I didn't think it was going to be like this, but boy, this is also a bad matchup for Baltimore. This Cincinnati team is a bad matchup for what Baltimore does and has.
On that one so hard. You know what the deciding factor was? The deciding factor was they were playing in Baltimore.
The deciding factor was, for me, to what they did to Herbert, Mike Williams, and Keenan Allen last week. Which is like, well, you got another team that's going to come in here and throw it all over the field.
Yeah.
And, boy, Cincinnati was really impressive.
Marlon Humphrey got dominated. I've never seen him get dominated like that in an NFL game ever.
How many times do I have to tell everybody?
Jamar Chase is the truth.
Justin Jefferson was the number 2 receiver at LSU for a reason. Because that guy was there, and he has always been this guy. 200 yards on Marlon Humphreys. Dude, he had 0 yards and catches until about 3 minutes left in the second quarter. It ended up with 200. So he basically had 200 yards in the second half.
Next season, fantasy-wise, he's a top 5 receiver.
Yeah.
It's going to be Devontae, Adams, Cooper Kupp,
and Hill.
Cheetah, Jamar Chase, and Nuke.
And Mike Williams has now allowed himself to move up there.
Lamar will be over Mike Williams.
Dude, this kid. Now everybody's getting to see what he was doing in college. Like this guy was better than everybody.
Like, they're gonna realize LSU does pump out like receivers too. When Odell first got drafted by the G's, I have some G's fans I'm in the thread with. They were like, "What is this pick?" And I said, "Whoa, actually, I wanted Aaron Donald, but But then when we went Odell, I said, okay, all right, he can return punts, kicks. I've seen what he does. Like, him and Landry had 1,000-yard seasons in the same season in college, which is unheard of. I was like, oh no, this kid is nice. Trust me, he could do it all. He's a playmaker. Trust. And then they were like, oh, but he's hurt. I said he has speed. It's a hamstring. It's fine. Then he came in, ripped the league up. I won money because of Odell. Because I picked him up because no one knew about him, and I just picked him up and did it. LSU, know this about LSU. They will give you receivers. They will give you safeties.
You have to understand that those receivers have to face those corners in practice every single day. They are going to be NFL ready.
Steel, sharpen steel.
So, being an LSU fan, I already knew about Odell. I watched Odell by himself beat WVU right after the Honey Badger by himself beat WVU in a home and away. Thanks, guys.
Word.
Thanks.
Word.
Literally, Honey Badger beat him by himself because he took a punt return at the end of the game in the field goal position, beat him in Morgantown, and then WVU goes down to LSU, and Odell does the exact same thing.
Listen, y'all, when you see a particular school that sends a particular group to the NFL, like Penn State will always have running backs and linebackers. LSU will always have receivers and defensive backs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see certain schools who just send players to the league all the time. Believe in it. Just believe in it.
All right, so the other thing that, a national audience got to finally realize, if they hadn't already, because this was the game that everybody was watching because the rest of the game sucked. Joey Boyband is the truth.
Told you about Joey Boyband. That was my guy too. Joey Boyband is nasty, boy. And now he has his boy, like, who he trusts. You see who he trusts. And also, Uzoma, the tight end. Yo, 2 touchdowns. Like, they gonna know. Like,
listen,
he's a culture changer.
Kerry, one of those touchdowns was on Humphreys.
Yep, I told you Humphreys had a terrible. Like, he had a bad day at the office.
Yeah, terrible. So this is not your father's Bengals team.
Mm-mm.
This team's defense is active. Was it Michael Kendricks that they just got from the Saints?
They got Hendricks.
He's balling. And this offense, Joe Mixon is having himself quite a campaign. But Joey Boyband stepped in and said, "No, we ain't losing no more."
He said, "Bye."
Dude, they have to give them an indoor practice facility now. They have to invest in this team.
No, they will, because of Joey Boyband. I said when Joey Boyband showed up, I was like, oh, this shit is changing. I smelt it. I was like, oh, this shit is different now. And him getting hurt, and I have to go ahead and make a retraction. My bad, y'all. I said you got to protect Joey Boyband.
Everyone did.
But y'all got his boy. And you cannot discount relationships.
So, Kerry, I can guarantee you...
Wide receiver, you cannot discount that.
I can guarantee you that the owner of the Bengals and the GM, at least the GM and the head coach, went to Joey Boyband and said, all right, man, who do you want? And he said, get my boy, not get me Penne. Get me my boy. I guarantee he had input on that, which Aaron Rodgers has never had.
Yeah, right. Is the offensive coordinator the same guy from LSU or someone else? Someone from LSU who ran that offense is with the Bengals.
Smart. He's probably like their quarterback coach or something like that.
Someone is in there who also helps design the plays. So I'm sure they had input too and was like, oh, we get these two together. Trust me. The ball won't be in Joey Boban's hands long enough for him to need the protection.
You know, that was such a bold pick, Kerry, because not only do you need to protect a franchise quarterback,
trapped.
They already had Higgins and Boyd. But what did we say? What did I say? When they let AJ Green go and they got this guy, what did I say? This is a perfect replacement. This is perfect.
You slotted him right as number one. Yeah.
I was like, this is perfect. And this is coming from an LSU fan and a huge AJ Green fan. I was like, oh, this is perfect. They're going to replace him with him. Same thing, letting Julio go and getting Kyle Pitts. We called that when I was like, oh, they're going to take Pitts to replace Julio.
I was like, oh, yeah, they're getting Pitts. I was like, okay, well, Matthew Ice Cream, another year.
You know, so it made sense for me because they let AJ Green go. I'm just like, well, does Higgins step into that spot? No, Higgins is just going to stay over there. And now they got this guy, and this guy is special.
He is. Yes, he is.
Woo. Boy, did they put a beat down on Baltimore. Oh, man. Not only was it a beat down.
Does not happen often.
Not only was it a beat down, what was most impressive about this, it was 13-10 at halftime. They came out 28-7 in the second half. They put it on them after halftime adjustments, which is not done too often on a hardball run team. The Ravens are always well prepared. Boy, they just put it on him. They flustered Lamar. They were hitting him, which people rarely do. You know, he was overthrowing people. It was bad.
The last time I've seen Lamar this flustered.
Playoffs.
Well, outside of that, I'm going to take it further than that. Because, and especially him being sacked as much, because he got sacked 5 times in this game. When he was in Louisville, and he was the shit, and when he was like Heisman Trophy candidate and all that, Louisville played the game against little school, don't know if you heard about it, University of Houston, Cougs, and they proceeded to sack his ass 7 times, and they whooped the shit out of Louisville. Nobody saw that happening. And I was like, oh, shit, wow. So I haven't seen Lamar like in that sort of state since that time, where a defense just knows what you're going to do, and it doesn't matter. They're not afraid. And that's the thing. Cincinnati Bengals weren't afraid. I thought with that kid Wilson, number 55, the linebacker on the Bengals said, I thought that would be the thing. I was like, uh-oh, Lamar's about to have a game. Nah, what he was saying is like, we're just not scared of him. Like, nah, we just not. Like, we're good. We're good on this side. And that's Joey Boy Band effect. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Who's that over there? It doesn't matter who's over there. Like, who's over there? It doesn't matter who's over there.
Well, it helps if you know
who's over there.
Well, it helps if you know, hey, listen, man, you might be really good, but I don't think you could put up over 30 on us, and that's what you're going to have to do to beat these guys.
Right. But also when, and I'm going to tell you this, you know, because you play defense. When, as a defensive player, when you have faith in your offense, that your offense can win, you're going to go out there and you're going to be like, I'm going to try to get my offense the ball.
Yeah, we're stripping this shit. We're punching.
Like, trust me, y'all. Trust me.
We know that if we get a turnover, you are going to pay for it.
Exactly. And so that's how the Bengals defense is playing now, which is a thing we're not used to seeing, which is why we went Baltimore. That's why. Now
Now
you got to start, because now in this black and blue division, we got to say, oh shit, Cincinnati is looking like a favorite right now.
Well, they are ranked as the highest team in the AFC right now, when's the last time that's happened?
When is the last time that happened, Boomer Esiason?
No, what was the Icky Shuffle?
Oh, it's like
the most awkward spike.
Listen, we're still talking about the Icky Shuffle in 2021. Shout out to Icky.
Icky. Raiders over Eagles, easy pick because the Raiders are a completely different team under Coach Pizon. Completely different. Derek Carr's balling again. They don't throw it 97 times to Darren Waller. Spread the ball around. The defense is...
The backup tight end got a touchdown on National Tight End Day. Woo, woo. Defense showed up.
Running back stud.
Ruggs did just enough. Jacobs is out. Jacobs is out, though. Jacobs is a cat who... I don't know. You got to watch Jacobs. See if he's going to be a cat who's always hurt.
Yeah, but I do like Kenyon Drake, though, as a backup.
It's actually looking like a great pickup now.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they did that, because Jacobs is always kind of like hurt-ish. I mean, everybody in the league is always hurt-ish, but he gets injured.
Whole different team now. This is the Raiders that, on paper, if you looked at just the roster and didn't think of Mayock and Chucky running the team, you'd be like, oh, this team could be really good. Now we can see what they can be capable of.
Yeah. Mike Mayock is still in the mix. Chucky Biggett is out. And with everything that went down, teams, it's a highly emotional situation. Because regardless of all those emails or whatever, you spend some years with a guy, you're going to get attached. You know what I mean? Like, whatever the situation is, you know what I mean? People love their abusive parents because they're attached. So Derek Carr had a tough time with this shit. He didn't like what he said, what Chucky Biggett said, but he also loves the guy still. So with a situation like that, a team could either go way down because they're all in their head, or they'd be like, okay, new chapter time. And that the Raiders are in new chapter time. So good for them.
They could have either hit the casinos or hit the practice field. And they hit the practice field. The Lions, man, they deserve to win this game. They outcoached Sean McVay. They should have won this game. The Rams are just too talented. How do you execute multiple fake punts and an onside kick and lose a game?
Well, let me tell you this. Detroit, stand up. It was a no-fly zone that day. Shout out to y'all, big time. Y'all were biting kneecaps all game long until that final play, which just showed that the Rams have better players.
That's what I said. That was
a case of, we just have better players than you.
Yeah.
But for the effort, the Lions gave maximum effort. They were like, we're going all out, doesn't matter. When you show me you're going to do an onside kick that early in the game, I'm like, oh, you trying to win. Oh, okay, I feel you. And like I told you, when Kneebiter cried at the press conference, I was like, I would play for that dude. And then seeing what he did against the Rams, I knew Detroit was going to give effort because it's a golf game. You know, those revenge games. You already know how they play out. But then seeing the type of plays that they called, I was like, hell yeah. It's the type of shit, I'm telling you, we're going to see players that we didn't expect to play in Detroit start to go to Detroit. And it's going to be because of Dan Campbell. I promise you this.
Yeah, no, it was. They're
going to want to play for him and turn that shit around. I promise you this. Dan Campbell turn this shit around over there.
It was fun to watch, but in the end, we all knew what was going to happen.
Better players. They're just better players.
Across the board, like 100%.
players. So that the Lions were so close in that game is a testament to what the fuck they did.
Of course, but the look on like Ramsey's face as they're executing fake punts and onside kicks, they're all just like, what the fuck is going on out here right now? Like,
they thought they had a day off. They're like, oh, we got to strap up.
Well, I'll tell you who did have a day off, and again, oddly enough, the Texans were up 2-0 in this game. Another safety. Cardinals 31-5. Yeah, whatever. Best team in football with one of the worst teams in football. Get out of here. Zach Ertz immediately pays dividends into the end zone.
First player in NFL history to score consecutive touchdowns for two separate NFL clubs. His the gloves and the football are immediately going to the Hall of Fame.
He should have at least got a Bitcoin for them. Come on, you need to negotiate on me.
Let me tell you something. That touchdown he scored, that Kyler Murray threw, that was a beautiful situation. That was pretty.
Yeah,
all the way around.
Texans suck though.
They do.
This is a good football team and a bad football team. So whatever. Another good football team and a bad football team. The Bears put up 3 points against the Bucs. The Bucs lost another DB though. I don't even know who's in the secondary right now for the Bucs. I don't think it matters. Can you put up over 35 on them, because you're going to have to?
Well,
offense is rolling without Gronk, without AB. Just whatever. We'll score as many as we need.
But this is what I will say though. I know bear down situation is looking real bleak, Chicago. But I will, and your shiny new toy is getting scratched and kicked and punched, and I hope this young man makes it through the damn season. But I will say this: that young running back Herbert is the truth.
Yeah.
Nobody this season has run against Tampa Bay except that kid. And we've seen the struggles that Chicago's offensive line has had. But weirdly enough, they can run the rock. Because before their starter went down, he was getting busy. And then Damian Williams, not so much. But Herbert, though, busy.
Yeah, he's nice.
Started him, and he did very well for me. Yeah, so they have something there. They got to figure that thing out, because, man, Justin Fields is going to get murdered this year. It's play calling too. I mean, he has to get rid of the rock faster, but when these guys are on his ass and he's trying to make a play, he's trying, but they have to help him out. They got to go screen game. They got to do real quick. Like, the ball has to be out of his hands in 1.5. instead of 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, they also had to play Tampa Bay in Tampa, so yeah.
Sure.
Another game that we all picked, and the only reason that I even thought for a second about this before I snap back into reality is because when Jimmy G starts football games, he wins. But I'm not that stupid. And the Colts are starting to move in the right direction. I was texting with Colton during the game, and he's like, is Carson Wentz back? I'm like, the Colts are, but I don't know if they, starting out 1-4 was too much to come back from.
Don't give Colton any hope. Listen, Colton is doing just fine. He doesn't need any help. Colton beating all of us. You.
Yeah, it's crazy because we all picked basically the same games, so nobody made any moves this week. I would have had I not switched off the two that I had. My fault. Colts are looking good. This game, it's hard to judge in a game where there's a torrential downpour.
That's another thing, too. It was the same, and it was a couple of games like that, like the Monday night game. But
yeah, I mean, this one was ugly, though, and the Colts have a better offensive line. Quentin Nelson was back for the first time, and they have a stud running back.
Darius Leonard, who knows how to turn the rock over better than everybody else in the league.
Which is why I have the Colts defense.
Fred Warner, who's, I would say, is if Darius Leonard is 1A and people knowing how to turn the rock over, Fred Warner is 1B. But yeah, when you have your opposition saying, I've never seen someone who knows how to turn the ball over better than that guy, and I've been in this game for decades, you got some.
So if you look at him physically, his arms are really, really long.
Who?
Darius Leonard.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like a power forward who's got a 7-foot wingspan.
Sure.
Like, his instincts are off the fucking charts.
Absolutely. He's the guy, you know who he's like, but different. Who had elite instincts and then also amazing physical prowess? Willis. Patrick Willis. Patrick Willis knew how to turn that rock over, and he would also put you in the grave. Darius Leonard is interested. Darius Leonard will knock your block off, but he's also interested in just getting the rock back for his offense all the time. So he's trying to pick it, strip it, everything he could do to get the rock back, and I love that. Now, Kwity Paye has been dealing with a hamstring injury, and he's just starting to come around. And I'm going to tell you right now.
You just like saying his name.
Kwity Paye. I mean, I was big on Kwity Paye. I wanted the G's to get him. He is, because Kwity Paye about to get paid when his rookie deal is up. Trust me on this one. Because you know why? He's playing for his mama. When you play for your mom, when you play for somebody, when you play for an individual, especially like someone like your mother, you listen. You have no distractions in your life. Like you are singularly focused, and he knows what he went through. Kwity Paye is about to be a monster in this league. Trust me on this one. He's going to be one of the top defensive ends in this league. Period. He's getting over his hamstring, and I started to see him make some plays. Like, oh, he's getting a little bit faster around the bend.
Also,
as healthier, Darius Leonard's going to make more plays. He's going to make more plays. This defense is going to get a lot better. They have one of the toughest schedules in the league. So this year, maybe a wash. Watch next year. This defense is going to be stupid.
Well, also, he's surrounded by talent, which makes his job and workload less, allows him to execute at a higher level. So he's in a good situation. They are 3-4 now. One more game and you're 500.
Did do a Carson when he flipped the ball. What the fuck was he doing? Carson, take the sack, hold on to the ball, and go down.
He can't help himself.
He can't help himself.
That's 2 sprains.
And that's why that's why he won't win a chip unless he gets that out of his game. Sometimes a sack is a sack, and a throwaway is a throwaway. He thinks he can make the play no matter what, and that's ego.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes. Ego.
When he kicks, you're right. Unless he kicks the ego to the side, Jeff George, you're never going to take your team over the top.
Nope, it won't. Colts are looking like they were supposed to look. They did.
Also, my man, you know who got busy? You know my man got busy, right?
Of course he did.
Pittman.
Yeah, that's what I've said. They're looking good. I just don't know if.
Figured it out. Jonathan Taylor is the lead back.
Yeah, I just don't know if starting out 1-4 is the healthiest way to get into the playoffs. Pretty tough.
But they are in the AFC South, which we could just punt Houston out of there.
Yeah, but
Tennessee figuring it out is going to be tough for them.
Yeah, so I'm saying Tennessee getting 2 huge wins in a row against, last season's AFC Championship game participants.
Yeah, that may do them in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going to have to look at a wild card. Yeah. We'll look at the standings to see what's up. Monday night game, dude, I didn't even watch it. I ate medicated pizza, passed out, woke up, was just like, whatever, Saints won.
Pizza pusher.
Nah, my mom's medibles.
Oh, yeah.
So the Seahawks are... There is chatter about Cam. That's why I brought that up. because teams see what happens when you give Geno Smith the football too many opportunities. He's going to turn it over. There's just a few things that are guaranteed in life, and Geno is going to turn the ball over. I don't know how many times to tell you this. It is what it is. He's got a great arm. He has flashes of brilliance, and then important moments happen.
Yeah, just like when he, because of the douchebag who was the Giants coach, who decided to sit Eli, break his streak of starts for Geno. I'll never forgive that dude for that, ever.
No, no one should. That was so stupid. I hate the Giants. I hated Eli. And I don't like Geno, but even I'm just like, what are you doing? What are you trying to prove with this? This your team?
Yeah. That's why I hope he never gets a gig in the NFL ever again. You could do whatever else, and I hope you're successful at whatever else, just not football ever again.
So the Seahawks gotta suck.
But I have to say, though, well, it was probably more torrential downpour.
Torrential downpour, but Kerry, they got Arizona in their conference. It's just like they're already 5 games back of them. So it's just
what I was going to say with that was that the Saints, I expected the Saints to really get in on them, but everybody was dropping and fumbling and everything, and it got real chippy. And
it's just good. It's just good for
parts of it. I will have to say this: the best part of that game for me, crab legs, no turnovers, none.
Fourth game this year, no turnovers.
I love that for him, but you can't win in this league when Alvin Kamara is your only guy. Panthers are showing you that when CMC is your only guy, you can't do it.
So,
they would get boosted if Michael Thomas came back, but they do have a monster defense. Demario Davis is a absolute fucking beast. He's an all-pro linebacker. He's that dude.
Yeah, he was all over the field. The Saints, 65 offensive plays. Alvin Kamara had 33 touches.
Exactly my point.
Also, it's a torrential downpour. What else are you going to do? I'd give him the ball every time, too.
I need Marquez Callaway to get me 1 point in order for me to defeat an undefeated opponent in my one league. I needed 1 point, and he gave me 2.9 points. I mean, I won still, but I was like, I wonder if I'm going to lose this way, because I won earlier this way by Mark Andrews not getting one extra catch to beat me.
All right, so fantasy-wise this week, it was my B squad. Literally 5 starters had the bye week this week. What am I supposed to do? My whole team was on the bye. Like I only had Henry. That was it. I had Henry and Mike Evans.
And that is the art of drafting. You got to know buys.
Well, see, the good thing is, though, this is only week 2 of buys. I'm good. For the rest of the season, I'm good, because when Henry has his bye week, I still have Robertson, and, I'm good. It's just I knew it was going to happen, and I got destroyed this week.
It's so early in the season. That's fine. You can come back.
Well, it was hilarious because the dude just hit on everything, including defense. He had Tampa Bay. They put up 21 points on D. Like, I was just like, it's a good one. I knew I was going to lose. I'm not even stressed. Whatever. Mo Alley pause. Definitely. I can't, because I
think that's our guy now, Mo Alley Cox.
No, that is my guy, but I have to call him Mo Alley Pause, because I cannot say.
I know.
Because me and Colton were texting, and I was just like, yeah, Carson Wentz needs more Mo Cox. And I was just like, I can't ever say that again. I have to change his name.
Wentz needs Mo Cox. Listen, if Wentz wants to be successful, he needs Mo Cox.
Dude, it's an athletic mismatch.
Yeah, man.
He is a freak.
He's ascending. He's one of those ascending cats. I would say, if not next year, the year after, he's going to be top 5.
Well, I mean, as soon as I saw him get his shot and Carson Wentz hit him for 2 touchdowns, and then the next week I saw a touchdown he missed in the corner of the end zone, which if he would have made that catch, I was like, well, that's not a tight end, dude. Jesus.
Carson's one of those dudes who also, he's like Matthew Ice Cream. He will lock in. He like.
As soon as I saw that, I need Mo Pause. Whoop, picked him up on the waiver wire. This is why I can't say his name. His name is Mo Alley.
Pause. His name is Mo Alley Pause now.
Mo Alley Pause. I'm telling you, as soon as I texted it, Carson needs Mo Cox. I was like, oh, no, I can't say that ever again. I can't do it. I work in rap. I can't do that.
I love it.
So, all right, let's go through week 8. Green Bay at Arizona on Thursday. Things have changed. This is Arizona easily. Who is Aaron Rodgers going to throw it to? Aaron Jones is going to have a huge game. Randall Cobb's going to be featured. Is that enough to beat this Arizona squad? No. Chandler Jones is back off the Roney list. Yeah, it's not.
Isaiah Simmons is having it. Listen, remember when we talked about the J.J. Watt sweepstakes and the teams he could go to? Arizona came up. It was like, oh, man, Chandler Jones right there. Then you also have Nuke, da-da-da. It would work. And also, he could just be that leader.
It worked.
They are undefeated.
It worked. Kyler could just go do what he does. Let JJ.
Going this way. They got Buda Baker. Chandler Jones had 5 sacks in a fucking game. Like, yo, they lost Patrick Peterson, but it was a loss by addition, really, actually. He should have really stayed. But the only way I would have let Patrick Peterson stay is if he would have decided to go to safety. If he wanted to still play corner, I'd be like, okay, see you. And I think that was what it was. Yeah, they're an ascending defense. JJ, you cannot discount the JJ Watt effect.
We do it
on that specifically, but on that team as a whole.
No, we do it. I said Chargers for the same exact reason. It made the most sense. And then when Arizona popped up, I said, oh, but you can do the exact same thing with Kyler. It makes sense. This is perfect.
He was on that Chargers defense. That is the J.J. Watt effect. It was like if he goes on either of these teams, like the defense will automatically be exponentially better.
All right, so I think the Chargers would have had more hesitancy bringing J.J. Watt in now that I'm learning more about the Golden Boy's personality. Because the Golden Boy seems to be like he is that dude in the locker room. It's just more in a different way.
Really?
Yeah, like talks a lot of shit. Really commanding and whatnot. Knows he's the man. Like, oh no, I'm the fucking man. Like, shit like that. But
it's just quiet.
It's quiet.
It's just for the locker room.
Yeah. So now that I'm learning that, his personality doesn't seem like he would have acquiesced to having JJ coming in and being like, no, I'm the guy.
Whereas Kyler Murray
looks like he's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he doesn't care about that. He's super quiet. Like he lets all of his play do the talking. And whenever someone says he can't do something, he's like, he doesn't even respond with words. He just responds with actions. He says, oh, you don't think I could throw from the pocket? Watch this. But also, I still run.
Well, the other thing that helps is they go and get another ninja superstar and bring him into that locker room. So him and Kyler could just go be quiet by themselves and form a duo together, which they're doing because Nuke never says anything. Ever. So it's perfect. They're probably just like, yeah, whatever. They hang out together.
Green! Like, when I was like, when they signed AJ Green, I was thinking, why are not more people talking about this? That's AJ fucking Green. I understand the last 2 seasons in Cincinnati were like he disappeared. That's AJ fucking Green. You understand?
And that's another quiet one.
Right. Like, that's what I'm saying. They were flying under the radar the whole time.
And then you
got John Connor, another James Connor. I call him John Connor. Another quiet one. Like, you got a lot of quiet dudes on that team.
Chandler Jones never says anything in the press or media ever.
Because his brother John is always in the news. You got a lot of quiet assassins on that team.
They probably, I'm telling you, I didn't see that totality, but now it makes so much sense. The whole team was probably like, yeah, let him come in here and yell at everybody.
I'm going to tell you something. Arizona Cardinals might be the Wu-Tang Clan of the NFL. Got a lot of quiet assassins on that team. Individually, awesome, but as a collective, super dope.
Yeah, they are.
You are the Wu-Tang Clan of the NFL.
And they're playing in Arizona, which Kyler always plays well at home. So Arizona, easy. I don't know what the spread's going to be, especially with Devontae and Lazard both out, which might lead to even more receivers testing positive because it'll be a whole contract tracing scenario.
Because of this, because of contract tracing, the whole team is about to get tested again. So you may have a couple of other players popping up.
Yeah, not good. Carolina at Atlanta. These are teams going in different directions. Going with Atlanta, Kyle Pitts is a stud. I don't care.
Pitts is nasty. If you got Kyle Pitts, never take him off the lineup now.
He is an absolute monster. Now Ridley doesn't have to do everything. So he's just he's just so much bigger than everybody else that's like covering him because they have to be able to have enough speed to cover him. He's so much bigger than him. It's just not.
Hands are immaculate. And then he also is. Then he so he has all these measurables, and he's also an X factor. So he has all the measurables, and then on top of that, he's an X factor. So yeah,
he makes stuff. He looks like Des Bryant out there.
Yeah, he's like, and shout out to Des Bryant who just did a new commercial. Yeah. Shout out to you, Des Bryant. He played for the wrong team, but I always like, dude is a monster. He didn't get a long enough NFL career.
Nope.
Like when we talk about players, like we wish we'd seen more of him. I wish we would have seen more of Des Bryant, even though he was on the wrong team, because that dude was a monster.
It was him and Andre Johnson. It was like they were like the same thing. Just
Andre Johnson career, if he was at the right place and just the right circumstances, he could have really had that career. He could have been a Hall of Famer. Really,
he made so many difficult catches, but Kyle Pitts has already. Kyle Pitts has showed that he will go up and make difficult catches, which with all those intangibles, it's his ceiling is unlimited right now. Yeah, go with Atlanta on that one. Miami at Buffalo. Do we even have to answer that one? San Francisco at Chicago.
So Santa Clara at Chicago. I mean, you already know Santa Clara goes 4 deep in every position, and they haven't figured out a way to protect Justin Fields, and he doesn't have enough seasoning to know how to get the rock out of his hands fast enough.
Yeah, you convinced me. San Francisco, Pittsburgh at Cleveland. This is a good football game. It would be if everyone on Cleveland was healthy.
Yeah, I gotta do more research on that one.
Yeah, I can't.
Is Baker gonna play? I don't know.
He's supposed to. Baker's supposed to play. I think
Rock is already ruled out.
I think Jarvis might be playing.
Yeah, Jarvis is back.
All right, so Jarvis is back. Hunt's out. He was put on IR, so he's out for 3 weeks.
Rock is out, so it's gonna be more Dearness. Who's capable?
Yeah, it's all about Baker for me. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh on this one. Cleveland's B squad was good enough to win last week. I don't think they're good enough to beat Pittsburgh.
I gotta do more research.
Big Ben has thrown the ball down the field so far in the last few weeks, and it's working.
You doing it?
Yeah.
I've been really paying attention to Pittsburgh at all.
Nah, they've started opening up the offense and using Najee for what he's supposed to be used for.
And that's the thing. I think they've been flying under the radar, and because again, Mike Tomlin knows how to push the right buttons and get. That's why Pittsburgh is always a sneaky fucking team, always, because of the Mike Tomlin effect. So yeah, I gotta
with all the injuries and whatnot. Right now, I'm gonna say Pittsburgh. Philly at Detroit. Futility Bowl.
Does
Detroit get their first win?
I trust Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith more than I trust Goff to. Oh, he doesn't throw to wide receivers.
I think that Motor City Dan Campbell should have saved all those trick plays for this week.
Mm-hmm. Because he would have won it.
Yeah, you would have won this week. Man, my heart says I want to pick Detroit, but I'm not dumb. Tennessee at Indianapolis. This is now a really good football game.
Yeah. It's a very important game, too. Because if Indianapolis can win this game, then they flipped it.
Yeah.
Because those are the two teams in that division who have finally figured it out. So whoever wins this game
has control.
If win this game, they flipped it. If Tennessee wins this game, they're going to run away with it.
Yeah. This is a really good football game.
Where are they playing?
It's at Indy.
Well, I'm going to have to think about this.
Me too, because Tannehill has been reminded that he has A.J. Brown on his team. Now things are different. Mm-hmm. But Indianapolis has also figured out to just let Jonathan Taylor get 25 carries a game. This is different. This is going to be a tough one. I have to wait on my pick on this one. Because I have Henry and the Colts defense. So it's like, this is why I hate fantasy football. That's why I hate it. Cincinnati at the Jets. No. Rams at Houston. Nope. New England at Chargers. Hey. This is now suddenly interesting.
See, so here's the danger when you play one of the worst teams in the league and you put up huge numbers and then you go and everybody gets busy. Then you go play an actual team, a legit team, especially in their backyard. Because those plays that you were getting off against the Jets, you're not going to get off against the Chargers. And also, they have a legit offense that's going to put a ton of pressure on your defense.
I mean, my fandom says New England, but, my fandom also says the Golden Boy.
I know.
And I don't pick against the Golden Boy, so, yeah, Chargers. Whatever. And I'm a New England fan. And Mac Handle is playing better than any other rookie quarterback by leaps and bounds.
Yeah, he's an accurate dude. Yeah.
He's playing better than any other rookie quarterback right now. You got to give him that.
Yeah. As I'm thinking about it, I mean, I would like to see more of Trey Lance, but he got hurt because he thought he was Jerome Bettis. Justin Fields doesn't even have a chance.
Zach Wilson, nope.
Please, I mean, I already knew. Come on now.
And if you look at next year's crop of quarterbacks, not looking too great. Draft-wise, that's not like a strong quarterback class. So,
you got the kid out of North Carolina, Sam something.
Yeah, I know, but Sam, whatever. So New England might have scored they kind of stole one.
It looks like out of like all the ones that went, like they might have.
They might have Aaron Rodgers did because
he really wanted to go there. Like he was pumped.
So excited.
He's like, that's exactly. And so when you get to the team where you really want to be, you're going to do everything in your fucking power to elevate. And he did that at Alabama. He knew Tua was going there. He knew that. He was like, I don't care. I just want to be at Alabama.
And so
he knew Tua was going. And he got his shot, and look what happened. He won a natty.
Yeah, you know why he went there? Nick Saban. You know why he wanted to go to New England? The hoodie. If there was any quarterback who was prepared to handle the hoodie, it's this kid. He already dealt with Saban. Like, yeah, perfect fit, and he's playing extremely well. I haven't missed a snap yet. Impressive. He seems like, he's one of those young quarterbacks. It seems like he's been playing for like 6 years already. There's nothing. There's no throw that he's made where I'm just like, oh my God, did you see that? But I'm just like, hey, this kid he's really good. He's very accurate.
And he doesn't make the same mistakes.
Yeah.
That's huge. So so as they throw new things at him and he sees them and he may have made a mistake, it's like, okay, now I know that. Good. I got that now.
Yeah. He's got the memory capacity and very, very, very accurate, which in the NFL that's all that matters.
Look at year 2, 3, especially 3, 4, when he's now seeing it all. You get it.
And he has discovered Hunter Henry. Touchdown on 4 straight games.
See, and Hunter Henry, to his credit, is staying healthy.
Yeah.
Also, Jonnu Smith has been getting, again, it was the Jets, but they needed this.
Yeah.
Patty cake team to just say, oh shit, guys, this is what we look like. And we can do this. We can implement this in other teams. It'll be in smaller doses, but now we establish trust. That's where you establish the trust against the shit teams.
So next game on the slate, Jacksonville at Seattle in the Geno Smiths.
Here's the problem with this game. Is that
it's at Seattle. That makes a difference.
Right. And also Seattle hasn't been blown out with Geno as the starter.
Yes, but if Jacksonville can keep it close, he's going to give you the game at the end.
And that's what I'm saying. But like when Geno first got in, Russell started and he got hurt. Then it was torrential pour down, so everybody was sucking. So we haven't seen a game like a clean weather game where everything is fair to see the true like Geno.
I'm tired of this nonsense.
But we know who the true Geno is.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Pick up Jacksonville's defense this week. They are going to score some points. Washington at Denver. Another.
Well, Washington should win that one. But it's such a weirdo game.
This is the type of game that Teddy Two Gloves wins and people think he's a starting quarterback.
Washington at Denver?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a classic Denver victory.
Yep.
It would be. It would be.
100%. And this is going to put...
Not everybody can play in that altitude.
And then this is going to make everyone... It's going to make everyone jump on the Heineke is not the guy bandwagon even more. Tampa at New Orleans. Yeah, Tampa's going to destroy them. I don't care. Dallas at Minnesota. Dallas off of the bye. Is Dak's calf fully healthy?
Yeah, I gotta see. This is all rests on Dak. If Dak is healthy, then there's no question.
Not even close. If he doesn't, and who's their backup?
Danucci.
Oh wow, because this is the type of game if the Kirk Cousins would win against a bad backup quarterback, and people would inflate his ability again and be like, "See, he just beat Dallas." No, he beat Danucci in Dallas. Come on, like this is a classic Kirk Cousins game. All depends on how healthy Dak is. At time of injury, they were questioning his availability for Week 8, but this is now a bye week off with treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Dak's healthy, no question. Monday night, G-Men at Kansas City. Is Kansas City this bad?
Wow. That's how we're gonna start this off?
Yeah.
Ouch. Well deserved, but ouch. The one thing I thought about this season when it first started is that we'd be able to hang our hats on the defense, but Blake Martinez, even before Blake got hurt, we were not looking good. Leonard Williams was like he wasn't playing up to his standard. But here's the thing that's happening though. Leonard is coming around. Azeez Ojulari, who I did want, and I was hyped that we got him, is the leading all NFL rookies in sacks. Bradbury's been having a shit year, but he looks like he's maybe doing it. Xavier McKinney out of Alabama is now getting his first full year of getting snaps. But I mean, I think this could be a game where this could easily be a game where Kansas City's like, oh well, let's try some shit out on them, and then let's see if we can start using this. I think this is the game where Kansas City starts saying, let's try to see what this offense could look like, looking different. But even though you can beat the Giants deep, you can beat the Giants deep now. I see this could be a fucked up game for Kansas City too, because they can beat the Giants deep. This is a Kansas City game. Either they're going to test out what their offense can look like if they dink and dunk so they can move forward, or they'll rely on what they've always done. Because you could beat the Giants deep, but that's fool's gold because the Giants defense isn't that great this year. So it all depends on what their offense does. But I mean, I think this is going to be a Kansas City.
Yeah, they traditionally don't cover the spread, so they probably won't cover the spread.
But they'll probably still win.
Yeah, so, all right, playoff picture. AFC is looking ultra competitive. Those.
We talking playoffs. It's week 8.
Well, we're almost halfway, so we're starting to see what teams are. Right, we're starting to see who teams really are. So Buffalo.
Figure it out.
Yeah. Buffalo. Yeah. New England.
Oh yeah. Who's Buffalo playing? We haven't talked about that yet.
It was one of those ones where it was like, all right, it's probably Houston or something retarded.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh.
So Buffalo, to be expected, leading their division, but New England could possibly vie for a wild card spot.
Which is what we said earlier.
Jets and Dolphins, we already know what they are. It's surprising that the Dolphins are this bad. This bad. We didn't think they would be this bad.
Well, you know what they're missing? Bad magic.
Yeah, 100%. AFC North, crazy division. Super competitive.
For real.
Like, super competitive. Cincinnati has now made a statement.
Oh, for real. That's probably, I would say it's the best division in the league right now.
Yeah, by far. AFC South, it's going to come down to can the Colts catch the Titans? Can they sneak into a wild card spot? Is one of these AFC North teams going to, possibly the Browns with all their injuries, just fall out of the picture?
Or if they can rebound. We'll see.
AFC West, shout out to the Raiders.
Shout them out, man. Like, they're not going to go quietly into the night.
They are not going to. So it's going to come down to them and the Chargers because the Chiefs they just don't have the talent this season, especially on defense. They fucking suck.
And you know what? And I seriously hope that Pat Mahomes' career doesn't mirror Aaron Rodgers' career as he's been linked to the entire time. Aaron Rodgers played when Charles Woodson and when that whole group left, Then he started playing. There was shit defenses for years, and he toiled there. So I hope that doesn't happen, and that does happen with supremely talented quarterbacks. Look at Dan Marino. He barely had a running game, and then the defenses were just tough. I mean, he had Sam Madison for some years, but it was just tough.
Kerry, even that 10-year stretch of Patriots futility in between Super Bowls, it was basically Tom Brady, and that was kind of it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I hope that doesn't happen. It looks like it might, and it could derail quickly.
It's looking like that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, NFC East, Dallas is literally running away with this one. NFC North, Green Bay, they're running away with that one. Minnesota possibly in a wild card spot. I don't know.
Only because of Dalvin Cook and Jefferson and Thielen.
Well, it's funny because the AFC is like competitive. The NFC is like every division kind of has their team that's kind of just it, except the West. The Rams and Cardinals are both good. The interesting thing about the NFC West, though, the 49ers, miring futility again. They have had one winning season in this Shanahan, John Lynch experiment. That's not good. One.
But here's the thing with them, though. Like I said, to me, they are still the deepest team in the league.
They are, but
they run 3-4 deep. But but backups are backups for a reason. And you need your frontline starters to be available. They're the type of sneaky team that will then make it difficult for other teams they figure it out, until they can get other players in. Obviously, Deebo Samuel is their wide receiver. Done. Elijah Mitchell may look like the guy right now. And then Trey Lance could then be the guy. And you got pieces on defense that give you encouragement.
But
right?
You also have two teams in your division that are loaded.
Loaded, right. I know. And then you also still have Seattle, which is without Russell. But if they had Russell, it would be even more of a problem. They're lucky Russell is out right now. So yeah, that. I mean, talk about like a competitive division. They're also super competitive. The thing with the NFC versus the AFC is that Bucks. I mean, we have some clear leaders in the NFC, like
Cardinals, Bucks, Packers, Cowboys, and then Rams. Clear,
right.
Easy.
The AFC, everybody's beating each other to pieces. So whoever from the AFC makes it to the Super Bowl, they're going to be they're going to be battle tested for sure, but they're also going to be beaten to pieces. So this could easily be another NFC Super Bowl win, just for the mere fact that the team that comes out of the NFC is just not going to be as beaten up.
Well, that happened last year.
Unless it is the Bucks. I mean, but the Bucks, just like what happened last year, Vita Vea came back later.
In the Super Bowl, Bucks were fully healthy.
Later.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, they're going to get healthy later. They're going to be fine.
Yeah, no, they'll be fine. It's interesting because the AFC, clearly, if you think of teams that actually have a shot, this is kind of a long list. Buffalo, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, that whole division. Tennessee, the Raiders and Chargers.
8 already. I was thinking 10 in my head, but 8. That's 8.
Well,
right
I mean,
there.
your heart wants to say Kansas City, but I'm realistically looking at what the product they're putting on the field. You have to remove them out of it, and then the Colts starting out 1-4. I don't know how that's going to work out for them. So,
but at least 8 deep.
At least 8, and then the other one is division leaders, and then the Rams added in.
Right. That's 5.
That's 5, and they're all
the numbers for a Super Bowl victory just favor the NFC.
Yeah.
Even though the AFC is still more talented.
It looks like the NFC playoffs is all going to be like which one of us doesn't have to play each other in the early rounds.
Exactly.
To just eliminate one of the candidates, where the AFC playoffs is just going to be playoffs.
I'm going to tell you one thing. If Dallas gets a favorable playoff matchup, Dallas is going to be in the Super Bowl. But you could say that if Tampa Bay, they get healthy and all that, Super Bowl.
So that's what I'm saying. So what if, like, somehow, some way, like the Cardinals lose early.
Right.
First round, and so they eliminate themselves, and they were up against, like, the Vikings or something. So now you're down to just 4 teams. It's just like, all right, can we get to these 4 teams against each other, not misstep? And it's like, all right, who? And then it becomes matchups. Because this past week, Cincinnati is a bad matchup for Baltimore. I should have known that. So right now it's like, is there a bad matchup for Dallas? No, they're loaded. As long as Dak stays healthy, they're loaded. Is there a bad matchup for Tampa Bay? Yeah, if you can put up 50, that's a bad matchup for them because their back end is terrible. Green Bay, they're like the least talented out of the good teams.
Right. But they also have the outlier at quarterback. Yeah. And then the outlier at wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? And then Aaron Jones is no slouch, and they're starting to give the ball to their backup running back, who is a monster.
And they also have made late season additions to their defense.
Absolutely.
So, good for them. All right, so stat leaders. Tom Brady still on top. Derek Carr is right behind him, though. Interesting.
People gonna know about Derek now. I'm so happy about Derek Carr. His situation now. He's gonna have his fingerprints all over this team, and we're gonna see a different Vegas team.
Derrick Henry is still 300 yards ahead of Jonathan Taylor.
Beast.
It doesn't.
When you start getting mentioned in the same breath as Jim Brown as perhaps the greatest of all time, and you know what? That is not hyperbole. Like, we see what this guy, who's going to get it. And he's the biggest, strongest, fastest that we've ever seen at that position. That we've ever seen.
Yeah. It's
not even a question. We love Barry. We love Jim. We love all these other running backs. That guy is different.
Yeah. There's never been anybody that big and that fast. I've never seen somebody that's bigger than everyone else on the field that leaves everyone else behind, including corners and DBs. Separating. Bo Jackson wasn't that big. Bo Jackson was a big dude, but Derrick Henry's bigger than everybody.
So there's fear on multiple levels. I don't want this dude to truck me. Also, he can run away from me.
Yeah. Jamar Chase is now number 2 in the league in receiving, which is awesome. He's unstoppable.
Devontae, yeah.
Team leaders. Let's see who we got. This is what I'm always interested in. Bill's still leading in defense. The Cardinals, though, they're the only team that's leading in defense that's really good on offense. The Browns are in the top 5, but it's just their running game, and both of them are hurt, which is huge. And 2 tackles and center having injury issues right now. Dallas is now the number 1 offense in football. They have overtaken the Bucks. It's funny, the Chiefs are up there, but I think we will see them start to fall off. The Vikings are up there. They're in the top 5. They're just not any good. The Vikings are tied for the number 1 in the NFL in sacks. I did not know that. I did not know that they were getting busy like that.
Who's their sack leader?
I had no idea.
Is it just a collection of dudes just getting...
Yeah, it has to be because I don't hear any one person.
Yeah, it's not one person.
Here, hold on. Let me go to individual sacks. Go to complete leaders. Yeah, none of them are in the top 5.
Yeah, it's just a group thing. Because they know they're not as talented, so they design packages. So they probably have some corners.
Well,
safeties.
they got Danielle Hunter is back, and he's got 6 sacks through 6 games. That makes sense.
He's probably their leader inside, yeah.
And then Everson Griffin has 4.
Oh, okay. He's still balling. Yeah, that guy's gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
And then there's nobody else in the top 50. So yeah, those two are getting busy. I had no idea. Because all I think about when I see Minnesota is Captain Kirk going 1 game below 500. So, a couple interesting games this week. So kind of it's also a continuation of this week. Like 2 good games and a bunch of bad ones. Like, okay.
So what is the top game of the week of these matchups? I'm trying to remember.
You know what's funny is like, none of those bad games were any good. It wasn't like it was like, oh man, it ended up being like an overtime thriller, 49-48, like something crazy.
Yeah. Well, I would say Atlanta, Miami provided us something a little like, okay, but it was like 2 bad teams who were like, oh, okay, well, we're trying to give it away. Well, we're trying to give it away. But Miami did show some moxie coming back, and then they took the lead, but then they fumbled.
Well, Green Bay at Arizona on Thursday night, but Devontae is out, so that changes everything. Pittsburgh at Cleveland, possibly. Tennessee at Indianapolis, yes.
Yes, that should be the game.
And then, this is the 3-3-3 bowl for me. New England at the Golden Boy. I get to watch it all on one screen. I don't have to watch it 2 games at the same time. I get to watch it all at once.
There's going to be another game, though, that's going to be stupid. It's going to be like one of those games that that's going to be like off our radar.
Dallas at Minnesota could possibly be a good game because Minnesota can put up points.
That could possibly be a good game.
And then
also,
the G-men at Kansas City, don't sleep. The Kansas City
Monday night game, it actually could. See, and this is my problem. Danny Dum Dum could actually have a good game, but the Giants have been so decimated on offense. But Darius Slayton is back. I think we still won't have Galladay. I think Kadarius Toney is still out. Shepard may still be out. If we had our full complement on offense, I would feel very comfortable picking the G's over Kansas City.
I would too.
Saquon and if our whole offense was healthy, I'd be like, oh yeah, G's gonna beat them. Yeah, I would feel very comfortable saying that. But Evan Ingram, his shoddy ass is out, and Kyle Rudolph is out. So I was like, it's hard.
Too many. So Vegas and Baltimore are the only 2 teams on a bye this week. Vegas. Probably coming at an inopportune time for them. They just won 2 in a row with a new regime. They're kind of got things moving.
Yeah, that's tough.
Baltimore, probably good for them because they just took one on the chin. Time to regroup, guys.
And they got to get guys healthy. Yeah.
All right, so, couple good games. I'm definitely going to watch Tennessee at Indianapolis. And
For sure.
Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Other than that, the 1 o'clock games kind of suck. New England at Chargers. That's about it. This week sucks. Dallas at Minnesota. That's the Sunday night game, so at least that one will be entertaining.
Yeah, that's all right. That's gonna be a focus game.
Yeah,
all right.
It's entertaining. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
All right, homie.
I'm telling you, it will be another game in the mix though that we like shit it all over, and we're like, yeah, we didn't see that one coming. There will be. There will be. Trust me.
Nah, maybe Washington at Denver will be competitive. The other ones don't look like they should be competitive.
This is a Charles Barkley guarantee.
It might end up being New Orleans and Tampa because Tampa's back end sucks and New Orleans might be able to put up 30 and their defense is good. So,
see what I'm saying? There's gonna be a game that we highlight that's gonna be like, oh shit.
Yeah. It's too bad there's 10 other games that we won't because they all suck. All right, homie. I appreciate your time. We'll be in touch.
Already know.
All right. Another terrible game. There's week of games. Whatever. Appreciate everybody coming through. I'll see you Thursday night.